especially like so people had health hazards, little babies was like real sick off of that. So
Wow.
yeah, that actually happened.
Yeah, we were talking in the other class about, something similar to that and how, not only with politics, but, a lot of these programs and charitable organizations, some of them work really well, but if you look at the structure of it and how the money is divided, and say 50 cents on the dollar goes to the top administration staff, then you got 5% that goes for support people and boom, boom, boom. Then you got another 10 cents off that dollar that goes for advertising and future promotions or whatever. Then by the time you look at how much is left for the kids, it's about 3%.
Right.
And people don't realize that. And I was saying to the students, there's so many programs and things that are built on the backs of poor people. All in the name of we're gonna help rise you up and somehow pull you up out of this situation and you're gonna become wealthy people.
Right. I noticed that.
That's not always the case.
I noticed that any kind of disaster or any kind of major topic, they always tend to take it and do whatever else with it in some way to make some money off of it.
Mm-hmm. You look at a lot of the programs they used to have in the city, like in the summertime, they would have that program where young kids in high school, the goal was to find them, I think it was called a CEDAR program. Anyway, the goal was to find them summer jobs and things like that. But we worked with that program for a while, but all of the money was up at the top of the program. And so by the time it got to the kids, they were making what's the minimum wage years ago? 3 something. I don't know, something like that. $3 an hour or whatever. But what was happening is that the goal was hopefully that, at some point these kids would come back and people would look at seriously hiring them. But they really never wanted to, they never really planned to do that. They were going to use them to work in these positions where they really didn't learn anything to do this type of work nobody else wanted to do, but it was nothing long-term in it, and it's the same thing, and I hate to stereotype charter schools, but I'll throw it in there since I work in charter schools, but all of them is the same thing, it's for a profit. And so their goal is to make the money so they can give it back to the investors. Hopefully in that some people will fall in and get something out of it. But in a lot of cases, they go to these really suppressed areas. They find children that they call are at risk. That means that they can get more money from the government. If you're an at-risk student, we figure, if Derek is probably not going to be very much anyway, so we don't throw a couple of dollars in here or whatever. And they look